we're gonna play Blades in the Dark, and it's been a harrowing journey to get us here, but here we are. How is everybody doing?
Oh, it's Monday.
It's Monday.
That's all right. Today's pretty good.
Above average.
That's good.
Below average.
Which
I started my day by witnessing an assault between two of the elderly people that I work with.
Oh,
Yikes!
no.
Oh,
Of just
man.
one of them ramming their walker into the other one repeatedly. And I was like, I was trying to make small
my
talk, so I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Are you
Each their own.
professionally allowed to laugh at that, or like no?
That's
Like
brutal.
No.
No, yeah. I've been around because we have similar lines of work. I've been around for a lot of those situations. It's like it's a harrowing experience, to be sure.
Yeah. And I didn't know their names, so I had to describe their outfits. And I'm like, one of them is a lanyard, and there's a bunch of broken Mickey Mouses on it. I don't know.
One of them was an old person, and the other one was also an old person.
Basically.
Totally. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Well, I
now I'm
didn't
here,
see-
so it's all good.
I didn't see any assaults, but my day wasn't great either. But I can't really
happened?
compete with
That's all right.
with that. It wasn't as bad as that, so I think it's pretty good in comparison.
It's all good.
So, healthcare.
I cut
Yeah,
the-
right.
I slept until 2. Yay!
Wow,
Ooh.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah, Tez had the best day so far.
nice.
I didn't have to do anything until 3 o'clock, but I spent my whole beginning part of my day writing and getting prep and stuff together for this game. And now I can put clocks into the game. Do you guys want to see?
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
Here, so check
What
it
are we
out.
seeing?
If you go
No.
if you're on Roll20, I can show
Yep.
you. Wait, hold on. I'll do this so the stream can see it too. So I can do this. I can go plop, and now there's a clock here.
Oh,
And
Whoa,
now
that's
so
and I can go it's filled up to there, or it's filled up to a random side, or it could be like that.
oh,
Yeah.
nice.
That's what I was doing this morning, because every one of the segments being filled is a different image that I had to upload. And so I did that for the 4-part clock and the 8-part clock and the 6-part clock, and so that was most of my morning.
Okay.
Awesome.
But anyways, let's learn about downtime, I guess. So, who does anybody want to give a summary of what happened last time?
We definitely stole a wagon.
You definitely did.
And there were goats.
There were goats.
There were goats.
Yep. Tez almost got run over.
And we
There were
failed.
Almost.
We
Almost.
There
failed
was-
at doing an explosion, but we succeeded
Yeah.
at running over a dude, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, we did succeed at running somebody over. Echo did a gnarly tumble jump over the goats to get onto the wagon.
Yeah, so
I believe it was
parkour.
called a Legolas leap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Just
I think
barely
that's
hanging
the-
on at the end.
That's the technical
Right
term
on.
for it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lost leap.
Yeah.
Legolas leap.
Yeah. So dope. And then I believe that the last thing that we saw was you guys getting the wagon up onto a boat.
Mhm.
And
A ship.
a ship.
My ship.
A
I was gonna say our ship,
Yeah.
not a ship like
Eh.
ours, right?
I mean, we haven't discussed once we like make the crew in earnest. You guys get to decide what your headquarters is, and I'm not saying that y'all can have a boat headquarters or not, but I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Steve's really
It's
pushing a
mobile.
boathouse on us.
I mean, you could do whatever you want. It's fine.
It'd be like a yacht, like a fancy yacht. We could have parties, cocaine.
Yeah.
I feel like a fancy yacht would stand out though, and that's not my deal.
Mm.
All right, it won't be a fancy yacht. It'll be a crappy looking yacht, but it'll look better on the inside than on the outside. We'll
I looked at
disguise it.
Tez's screen really quick, and I thought she just ate the microphone. Very-
Chocolate.
Yeah.
yeah, but it came in the same direction as your mic.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So do you guys want to
It's upside down.
Do you guys want to learn about downtime?
Yes.
Yes, please.
All right. So, basically, here's what happens. I'll do a little bit of like in fiction thing to kind of like set us up so you guys can get a sense of where we're at and where we're going. So you guys make it onto the ship and you get the gangplank off and you shove off and you've evaded the blue coats and the lampblacks and everything. And my question is for Simone, actually, you have Costa is your ally, right?
Let me double check my sheet.
Costa is your ally. So my question.
Why did you ask me what you can just tell me?
Well, no, I asked you as I was pulling up your character sheet to check.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, what do you imagine Costa looking like?
Does it specify if Costa's female or male?
Nope.
All right, so let's describe Costa. Oh, I thought of this today, actually. Okay, perfect. So Costa, I want to be this kind of like bigger gentleman, kind of Vin Diesel-esque, but like 1980s, early 90s Vin Diesel when he had like some hair thing going on.
Okay.
And he has pretty much the same kind of like olive darker skin that I do with like ice blue eyes, like very odd looking eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So as you guys kind of like are on the boat and you're like having that moment of like as soon as you still have like the adrenaline rushing through you because you just like finished the thing, and Costa comes out of like the main sort of like inside of the boat and comes out and says, "Ah, my friends, I'm so glad you are not dead."
Yes.
Costa!
How
did it go? Oh, hello, my friends.
You're making Costa so much more happy than in my mind.
Yeah, where
and I like it.
Let's back up a second. Do we all know this guy?
Yeah, so this would be, so Costa is Crow's friend who, if we kind of like flash back to before we had started our last session, we would see you guys kind of like employing him to, not employing him, but like recruiting him to aid in the operation. He was basically going to like be like captaining the getaway boat while you guys were like doing the score. So like the idea was he is like your getaway driver, and so like he was keeping the boat running, and then you guys get on, and he shoves off, and then he comes out and he says I'm so glad that you've all made it.
Costa is cool people.
How did
I immediately go, wait, if you're here, who's driving the boat?
That's okay. I'm gonna go drive the boat right now.
Okay. sounds
Just
good.
gain it by the skin of our scales.
I'm going to take the wheel and just go. There are still people like on the dock right behind us, right?
No, you've evaded. All
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. We don't have to rush. That's fine.
Yeah, no, you got off so that you like would not be that you basically had to rush so that you weren't there when the blue coat showed up, but now that you've like gotten off and like gotten on the boat and stuff, you're kind of chilling for a little bit.
Sweet.
Cool.
And he says, so how did it go?
It went as smoothly as a random.
Guys, it went awesome. Come on. We did a great job. I'm so proud of all of us.
None
Honestly.
of us died.
We're doing so well. I'm so... All of you.
We got the thing that we came for, so I call
Everybody
that.
count your fingers and toes. Are they there or not? We're fine.
We're
We
fine.
did fine.
Your sense of companionship and camaraderie is truly inspiring to me.
We all have to be very proud of ourselves. We did what we had. We got what we came for. Nobody... Wait, did everyone die? Anyone die?
Nobody on our side.
Nobody on our side died. So
No one on
win.
no one on the other side.
Felicia died. She was a ghost, but I
She's
mean,
been
she
dead.
wasn't part of that.
Felicia was
already
already dead. Yeah.
She was
She's
really
been
annoying.
dead.
She couldn't. She was impeding my focus.
Right.
Nobody worth any money died.
He says, very good. Well, we've got a bit of time until we have to do anything else with this cargo. So we will take our boat around and we will go hide out, and you guys will have some time to recuperate, rest, relax, and then in 3 days' time we will deliver this cargo to our client.
3 is a very lucky number. It is a good
Sounds
slot.
good.
Very well. And so he brings you we kind of get the map, we get the map and the little picture of the boat, and it's like, the little dotted line of you guys traveling by boat. And he brings you over to Dunslow, where there's a temporary kind of hideout, safe house sort of set up for you guys, where you can lay low for a bit. You still have the ability to travel yourselves over the next couple of days.
Oh.
Huh?
Sorry, you cut out for a second. I thought it was me. Go ahead.
No, you're good. So you'll still have the ability to spend your 3 days kind of going wherever you need to go in the city and stuff, but you have a safe house that's in Dunslow, which is over here, for a bit.
Got it.
And where's that again on the map?
It's right here where I'm pinging.
Let me see.
Ping it some more.
Oh, there it is. I see him.
Yeah. And he brings you into this there's a regular sort of shop of some sort. It's just a general kind of trinket shop type deal, and then he brings you down into the basement, where there's kind of a series of small bedrooms and a common area and stuff. And he says, you'll be safe here for a few days while we prepare for our next score. No one ever expects a safe house so close to the prison. You know what I mean?
I like how you think, Costa.
It is why I have lived this long. And so yeah, so you guys are in your safe house. You guys are chilling, and now we can talk about downtime. So downtime is the other phase of this game. So there's the score, which is what we did last time, which is the going and doing the crime and doing the stuff and the actiony sequency bits. And then there's downtime, which is the stuff that you do in between. And the way that we kind of do this is we do it in sort of vignettes. So we go we go scene by scene by scene by scene, instead of it, so it doesn't have to be one continuous we go over, in D&D it's we go here and then we all go over here and then we all go over here. It can be just little vignettes. It doesn't have to be sequential. It's just it's the montage episode,
Right.
And so everybody gets 2 downtime actions. And now I will pull up my thing, because I'm tragically unprepared because I suck.
You didn't have your post-it note ready?
No, I didn't get a chance to write one because I was at this place with no post-it notes, and I'm sad about it.
Wow. It's almost as if preparation was useful to a DM.
I'm prepared. I am merely bringing up my little rules sheet here that tells me all of the downtime actions that you guys can all take. All right.
Oh, I should bring that up.
So there are 6 different things that you guys can do during downtime. There are 6 kind of moves that you can take, and each of you can make 2 of them. You can make the same moves if you want. It's kind of the downtime stuff is a bit more personal as opposed to the more kind of party focusedness of the score. You can either acquire an asset, so you can and we can I'll tell you what all these are and describe them a bit, and then we'll go into the mechanics of them if you guys decide to do them.
Okay.
So you can acquire an asset, which is temporarily acquiring something that will be useful in the next score. So getting the goats to drive the cart, that would have been a downtime acquire asset action before the game actually started. if that makes
The
sense.
day I went to the market.
Exactly. You can work on a long-term project, which is like the most open-ended of everything. Like, you can kind of do and work on like kind of whatever you want in this game. If you want to like work towards like building your friendship with an NPC, if you want to work on building or crafting something, if you want to, you know, almost anything that you can think of, you can start a long-term project. And the way that you would do that is you would say, hey GM, I want to do this thing, and then we would determine how many segments of a clock it would be, and then we would start a little clock that would show up on your character sheet, and then you can work on it, and after you fill the clock in, you get whatever the benefit is. So that's long-term projects. You can recover, so you can like go recover your harm from a doctor or whatever. You can and you can reduce heat. So this is another thing that we haven't quite gone over in detail because we haven't set up the crew particularly yet. Basically,
Is this like the stars from Grand Theft Auto?
it's exactly the stars from Grand Theft Auto. So as you guys do the crime, as you crime and as you more crime, if you crime loudly, you get heat. Heat leads to attention, which is bad for crime. Therefore, you can reduce heat to get less attention for better crime.
Like put up propaganda posters saying, "Hey, it's not us, it's somebody else."
Right, and the way that you do it is you kind of like roll whatever skill, and based on how well you roll, so you could say like I'm gonna roll skirmish because there are people going around and like they're snitching on us, so I'm just gonna go beat them up, and so like you would roll a skirmish to reduce heat, or you could like roll a survey to like find and take down like wanted posters. Like you can kind of like frame it however you want.
Can I roll finesse and just post a bunch of pictures of us with like adopted animals? Be like, they couldn't do that. Not these people.
We're too sweet.
That's adorable. I mean, you could make your hideout like an animal shelter. That's a thing you could do. You can also
As all the ovaries just explode.
I feel my work here is done.
So it wasn't necessarily my ovaries. It was me being like, they'll never suspect that. That's perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
Also attack
I
dogs.
just want kittens and puppies all over the place. And maybe some dogs.
Charitable organization. Yep.
Yeah, they could be all dogs and cats, and they're all possessed by ghosts.
By other goats.
By goat ghosts. You can also spend one of your downtime actions to train. And if you train, you mark one experience for an attribute in your playbook. So this is like you do a training montage. And I think this is what at least some of you are going to be interested in, you can indulge your vice. Hey, so Eric, since I know you want to indulge your vice, you want to go first, and we'll talk about how you indulge your vice and mechanically how all that works.
Can I ask one question before that?
Of course you can.
Can you do more than one at a time if two actions overlap? And I'll explain. Like, can I try to, like, sway someone or, like, reduce our heat by also trying to have sex with them?
Yes.
Which is my vice.
Yeah, that would just be your two downtime.
Oh, okay, that would be
Yeah.
my two. Okay.
Yeah. Which that's like a really good thing that you could do, because that's like a really cool kind of like narrative flow, right? Like
I didn't know that was your vice, and I was like, what?
No, my vice is literally I just want to sleep with everyone.
Got it.
Yeah.
I was like,
so
what?
so everyone will eventually have a vice purveyor, which is an NPC that you kind of like. So if your vice is drugs, it's your drug dealer. So like for you, Undertow, it would be like the person who like sets up you having all the sex with the people. I think
You're pimp.
I was gonna
yeah,
say the
I
pimp.
think
I
in-
am already friends with a prostitute, so I think.
Well, so that's what I was gonna say. I think in your case specifically, because I was thinking about this earlier, I made a relationship map for all of the players and all of the NPCs and everything, and I was actually thinking that I think Nirix will just be your vice purveyor, and
That's fair.
that's why you're friends.
That's easy.
And you can totally be like, go to Nirix and be like, hey, so is there anyone who like is like talking shit about us? And they can be like, oh yeah, totally. And you can be like, okay, cool. And then you go like seduce them.
Cool.
And that can be like what you do.
I'm down.
Do we want to start there? Or...
No, we don't have to. I'm sorry. That was just what was in
No,
my
no,
head.
no, no.
So.
That's fine. That's
Go for it.
Yeah, we'll start there.
All right.
So yeah, so we'll do a reduce heat, and that can be you like kind of like talking to someone to, right?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So you want your first action?
I wanted to reduce heat.
Mm-hmm. So we'll do that first.
And what I was thinking was,
yeah, feel free to set up these scenes and like
yeah,
because
like I mean I don't know if I need to use my friends, but there was already a cop that I had previously spoken to,
mm-hmm.
who I had prevented from chasing us because I told him to leave us alone.
oh yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. Can I talk to him again?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So what do you want to roll?
Either sway or consort.
Yeah,
I want to
either.
charm them, so I'm guessing that's sway, right?
Totally, that could be it.
Yeah.
So the way
Sleep with a cop.
so the way that it works is you
Yeah.
you roll whatever you roll on a result of 1 to 3 you clear 1 heat, on a 4 or 5 you clear 2 heat, on a 6 you clear 3 heat, and on a crit, which is 2 6s, you clear 5 heat.
Sweet.
And
How much heat do we have?
You currently have 2.
Oh, okay.
For reasons which will become apparent the more that we play, and once the crew is established, I'll explain to you how all of these numbers and all of like the heat levels and stuff kind of come to be. For now, as we're all kind of learning together, I'm just doing a lot of it for you.
Cool. Yeah, so I basically want to go, how I envision it is I go, what are they called? What are the cops called? I'm sorry.
The blue coats.
Blue coats. I guess they would have a police station or something like that?
Yeah, there'd be like a precinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would probably like
Okay.
wait. I picture Undertow kind of like just kind of leaning back outside the doorway waiting for him to come out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when he comes out, just kind of like doing the whole little side head thing. So he comes on over.
Yeah, and he's got his hat kind of down low so that we can't see his face right away, and he like sees you nod, and he kind of gives like a short nod, and he takes off kind of in the opposite direction because he's gonna go along and like loop around and meet you. And
Sounds good.
And you come into the alleyway, and we hear like the alleyway's like all kind of like damp and covered in like a mist, like a fog. It's always kind of like it's very often like very foggy and misty in Duskfall. You can like
It's very romantic.
yeah, you can smell the smell of like industry.
Yeah.
That's not
and-
that romantic.
And like you
NTR.
hear the sounds of like
It's true.
That was my
machines.
favorite Yankee Candle. Smell of it.
Yankee-
Industry, my favorite Yankee Candle. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
You hear the sweet tweets of carrying
Oil and gun smoke.
Oh, young gun
Right.
smoke. Sewage.
Um,
A hint of sociopath.
and,
All right, cool. So basically, yeah, I just
yeah.
well,
He comes in and he kind of like tips his cap up a bit so we can see his face, and he's like kind of like middle-aged. He's got like a salt and pepper beard and like short kind of like well-kept hair, and you would know this guy to be Jaren.
Jaren?
the blue coat. Yes.
Should I make a note of that?
You're welcome to do so.
How do you spell Jaren?
Jerrin.
J-E. Okay.
Can only be Jared.
Yeah, Marissa just went to Jaren.
That's Jaren.
Yeah, cool. So yes, basically, I will. I'll be very. Marissa is not particularly charismatic,
Right.
but
I mean that's subjective, but yes, I always say that all the time too, because I am nowhere near as charismatic as half the characters that I play.
It's always so difficult because I love playing charismatic characters, and then I'm just like, "Hey, baby, what's up?"
Right.
Like I'm just. Cool.
Yeah, no, I totally, again, I feel that on a spiritual level.
It's kind of painful.
As someone who loves playing bards with 20 wisdom,
yes,
20 charisma.
20 charisma.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So anyway, yes, so but I would think Undertow will be very very polite and not push it too hard and just be like, thank you again for your help before. I don't know. Would he respond to that?
He says, he says, yeah, I don't think I can do that much, at least not for now. But I caught a lot of heat for that. My squad got in quite a bit of trouble. And he's kind of constantly shifting, looking over his shoulder, kind of super paranoid about this whole situation. And he says, yeah, we can't really be seen together after this for a little while, and I can't help you for a little while.
Ooh, he's playing hard to get, girl.
I know. I'm gonna be like, listen, Jaren, I think you're. I think you're
neato.
I think you're great. No, honestly, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna do anything. But I would like to show my appreciation, and I'm gonna grab his lapel or whatever, and just be like, I do have a ship, It's right over there on the docks.
All right. So is Jaren the one that you're trying to seduce to indulge your vice? Is that what's happening right now?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right.
Oh man, you should have hit him with an Undertow pun. Been like, oh, I'm so sorry you got caught up in some heat.
Well,
let me douse that in the Undertow.
You know why they call me Undertow?
Oh,
I sweep you off your feet.
Oh, there we go.
That's
You
hot.
are charismatic.
How would you like to make some motion on the ocean?
I brought you a pair of flippy floppies.
I just
gotta be like, get these barnacles.
I just want to say, I want to step out of the game for a second and say I am impressed that we took it. It took until as long as it did, 28 minutes into our second session for for you guys to try to sleep with an NPC. I'm impressed you lasted that long. Nice work, everybody.
Thank you.
We're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like I just won the 100.
Honestly, the fact that it didn't happen the last game in the middle of that firefight,
Yeah, who knows? I mean,
that goat looked mighty cute.
That was what I was gonna say.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, what crow does to indulge their vice? I'm not here to judge. So, all right. So you want to roll a sway to
sure. Let's see how this goes.
All right.
Make those hips sway.
Come on.
I believe in your hotness.
I hope so.
I do too. Honestly.
I can't wait until I can afford the stress to assist you in doing these things to give you a bonus die.
Tag out.
I just want to see how your little whisper bud assists you in going to bone zones.
From the other room, control the lights and dim them.
Is this risky and standard?
Yeah. The position and effect don't matter on these rolls because we're in downtime. So.
Oh, it doesn't matter?
No.
Okay.
We'll call this risky though. There could be consequences here.
I'm saying there's
We'll
could be a
see-
lot
we'll
of
see
frigging.
how it
We're
goes.
not. We are
Yeah.
not that far from the precinct either. They will.
Right.
There's a
I
lot
thought-
of.
I thought you were in the precinct doing this, and I was like,
no,
that's ballsy.
we're-
That's way risky. That's
we're
like
the-
desperate right there.
That's a power move. That's like the ultimate power move. You just show up to someone's work like.
All right.
Hey, the bathroom's over there, honey.
Yeah. Yikes.
I got a boat.
Okay.
What I get?
You got a 5.
Okay, that's pretty
I'm
good,
gonna-
right?
I'm just gonna go ahead and make a quick little fortune roll here to see if Jaren's into this or not.
Oh man, he's definitely into it. Have you seen a picture of Undertow? I thought I shared it to the
We're gonna
group.
see. I'm gonna use this roll fortune. We're gonna give him 2. We're gonna give him 2 dice, and we're gonna say that if he gets a 5 or under, he's into it. Actually, I'm gonna give him.
All right.
I'm gonna give him 1 dice because he's not. He would get 2 dice if he was acting on behalf of the Blue Coats. This is just like him as a person. If he gets under your result, he's into this.
Okay, it better be.
Let's see. Oh, he's super into this. All right.
Yes, of course he is.
Wow, he is thirsty.
Yeah, and so you go in and you go for his lapel, and he just kind of like he tenses up because he's like, you know, like in that kind of like awkward
This
like
is my first time with a man.
yeah, right, like mama's telling me no, but my body.
Don't worry.
Hey, love is love.
So okay, so we'll call that sway roll. In addition to being whether or not is Jaren into you, we'll also call that your reduce heat. So you reduce with a 5, you reduce 2 heat. I'm pretty sure. Yes. So
Sweet.
Oh, nice.
so you reduce your heat. You reduce the 2 heat that you guys garnered all the way. And so now you can make a indulge vice roll, and we'll call that the like, you know, the like awkward kind of like Jaren's kind of like awkward and then like you go in and then like the scene cuts to black, obviously.
Sweet. What do I roll for that?
So that's we're gonna get to that. So there's there's an indulge vice button, I think.
Yes, there is. Should I press it?
Yeah, so the way that this works, before you press it, I just want you to understand kind of like everything that goes into this. So you roll dice equal to your lowest attribute. Yeah, so that's automatic. And you clear stress equal to your highest die result. If you clear more stress levels than you had marked, you overindulge. And there are specific rules for what happens if you overindulge. So how much stress? So how much stress do you have right now?
I have 4.
Okay, so unless you roll like a 5 or a 6,
Okay.
you'll be fine.
And no bonus dice, right?
Nope, it's just a straight roll. All right, so you clear 3 stress.
Sweet.
Nice job.
Thank you.
You take. I'm gonna make a little note here. Took Jaren to the bone zone.
Oh man, that's definitely not what Undertow calls it, but that might be what Jaren calls it.
That's what the GM is calling it for the sake
That's
of
fair.
brevity on the notes.
Bone zone.
All right, cool.
Yay.
Well,
Undertow
Success.
refers to it as his coral reef.
Ooh.
Some good treasure.
Lots of pirate puns. I'm here for it.
Oh,
I'm here
yes.
for it.
yeah, you gotta plunder that booty.
I'm gonna work saying puns into my backstory so that me saying them helps me get XP for that like show your heritage thing.
I can appreciate that.
All right, cool. So that was Undertow's downtime. Your 2 actions. Great, Joy.
Sweet.
Yay!
Who's next?
So I'll go next because I
Yes.
had a quandary.
All right.
Question? Inquiry.
I may have an answer.
We'll see.
I certainly hope that I do. If not, then I've failed you.
So my vice is luxury,
Yeah.
but I don't like to ever be alone because my character is afraid of his own shadow. He doesn't like loneliness. So I was wondering if I could indulge my vice with somebody else indulging their vice by just like amping up the opulence of whatever their vice is. So like my example would be like if Crow was like, well, I need to get a hit. I could be like, great, I'll go with you, but not to some like Skid Row home. Like we'll go to a nice place. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. You could also just like co-opt like someone into being like, hey, so and so, like come shopping with me. Like you can totally do that. But yeah, if you wanna work in the like double vice thing, yeah, totally. It like as we're kind of like vignetting the downtimes, I kind of this in this section of the game more so than anything, I kind of turned it over to you guys to like set up scenes and like, you know, tell me what you want to do, and then I just kind of play the world and react to whatever, and like in whatever scene you said, I'll play the NPCs and all of that. But like this is really like you guys kind of have license to set up and do whatever scenes that you want to do.
Okay. So I'm definitely indulging my vice.
Yeah.
And if anybody else is, I will definitely go along.
Yeah.
I am.
So,
Oh my god, no. Then we should have gone with Undertow. Are we all just going to go without... like, Undertow was like, I'm going to go
I can
bone.
come
And we're
along.
like,
I just won't be indulging any vices, or I will indulge in vices, but it won't like.
yeah.
I won't play it out.
Yeah,
I'll
you
just
could just
be like,
you could just be in the scene. Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
okay, so my vice is luxury. Yours, Crow's, is drugs. And then Echo's, yours is fighting, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, so
I'm going to-
actually, the other thing that I wanted to do with downtime was train. So maybe if we end up someplace that has like fight betting and
Yeah.
drugs.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
I was going to
I
see if I could consort to find like an upper scale fight club kind of like underground.
There's definitely got to be like a casino where you can gamble on like fighting and buy some drugs
oh, yeah.
and
There's
Can I
totally.
consort to find that?
I mean, I think you can just find it. Honestly,
I had this idea in my head, not quite a fight club, but more of a destruction club, where the strongest like warriors go into this arena and try and break it, kind of like a destruction derby, but for like people rather than vehicles.
Oh, like Alita Battle Angel kind of a thing.
Kind of, sort of,
yeah,
maybe.
but instead of
I actually just
instead
saw
of-
that last night.
Nice. Yeah, but instead of playing like weird robot soccer, you're just like smashing shit and
Yeah,
potentially
like you get points
smashing-
for the more destruction that you cause.
and potentially smashing other people with things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that negates mine, but that's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, but you could
I like
totally
that.
so you could totally have like that can be Echo, that can be like your vice thing, and then if you want to train Crow, like depending on like if you wanted to like fight someone to train, you could totally have another scene where you like pull Echo aside and you're just like, hey, want to spar? Like
That works too. I like that.
those could be two different scenes if you
Okay.
like to do it. Yeah. And there doesn't necessarily have to be like a scene associated with every single thing, especially as we kind of like get rolling into the downtime thing, as we kind of get
Right.
into the game. Like there might be a downtime where like no scenes happen, you guys just mechanically tell me what you're doing, make your rolls, and we move on. You know, like totally. But for now, I figure because it's kind of our first downtime and we're kind of seeing what all the characters are like and learning about all this different stuff, it's cool to have a bunch of scenes.
And let's go get some high-end drugs.
All right.
Ooh, let's go.
Okay.
All right. Actually, I'm gonna ask Costa, because Costa, like, since we grew up together, knows that I have this addiction, and I figured out that basically my character is on Blood Needle because he fucking hates sleeping. Like nightmares, all the nice PTSD from being in the military, like all that stuff. So he hates being asleep. So that's why he uses something that like keeps him up. So I'm gonna ask Costa like first if he has any, and if he tells me no, then I'm gonna ask him where can we get some. And then I figured Eric could interrupt and be like, oh no, not.
Okay.
I could be like, what? Where were you going to send him to get his drugs? Oh, no. I will not stand for this.
Yeah. Well,
He is friends with royalty. We will be going to a nice
We need you at the top top level.
Yeah, so I was gonna say let's roll a fortune to see whether or not Costa has drugs, but it sounds like it's actually better for the narrative if he just doesn't. So like, yeah, you come to him.
I was gonna say he could try too. As he was like, "Oh, I know a great place," I was like, "None of your nonsense, sir."
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, you'd say, my friend, I'm sorry, I do not have any on me, but I could point you in the direction of down here in this one underground in Char Hollow. There's a place.
Huh?
Perfect.
What?
Perfect.
Tar Hollow? No. None of this. No. Excuse me. Pardon me. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Oh, Costa, you look so good, my good sir. You look wonderful today.
Oh, thank
Crow,
you.
were you looking to get a hit?
Yeah.
Perhaps I can be of assistance.
Do you have anything on you?
No, heavens no. What do I look like, scum? But I can get you some. And I know where we can go to get some.
Yeah, Costa just said.
Serve tea. No. That place is a dump. You don't want to go there. Trust me. You want to come with me. They have cashmere. Come along.
All right, I'm getting tired. So can we get there now?
Do I look like I can instantaneously transport you there? Do I look equipped to do that for you?
As we diagonal wipe to the best part about that is Char Hollow is like the fucking slums of Duskwall.
Get out of there.
Yeah, totally. So you guys want to both indulge your vice. So there's a little dice roll button.
Yep, let me do that.
How much?
And I feel like we go to like a really nice like mansion-ish house where they're like, "Oh, come in. Do you have money?" And we're like, "We have money." And they're like, "Here's all the drugs you'd like." And we're like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, and because you have like a noble background or whatever, you have like RP money, so you could like.
They're like, I have like RP like street cred because they're like, "Oh, 13. Ooh, oh, everybody
No
knows
real
this.
questions asked. They just gotta see your face and go, "Okay, go. You're sure you're
They're
fine."
like, remember us. And I'm like,
I want one person to be like, no pets allowed, and just be like, the bird stays, and they're like, pet allowed, yes.
Oh. Wait, why did it give me 2 instead of 1? Did I do something wrong?
You had 0 in your lowest. So hold on, let me look at your character sheet real quick. Yes. Okay. So vice rolls, mechanically, the way that you build them is they work like the resistance rolls, but you make the roll using your lowest kind of like meta stat. So like you to do your vice, you rolled your prowess, which you have 0 dots in. So so your vice roll is 0 dice. So that's the roll 2.
Okay. Oh, so I only lose 1? Dang.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Crow, you lose 5.
I lose 5 what?
Stress.
So I'm -1 stress.
Ooh, we get to learn about the overindulgence rules.
Okay.
Damn it. I told you not to take all of the drugs just because they're free.
I can't fall asleep.
That's very good. So when you overindulge, you make a bad call because of your vice in acquiring it or under its influence. What did you do? And I'm going to give you some options here, and you get to pick one.
Okay.
Did you attract trouble? Which will roll an entanglement, which is a mechanic that we'll learn about a little bit later. Did you brag about your exploits, which generates 2 heat? I love this one.
Everything Undertow did.
I love this one. You could get lost, play a different character until this one returns.
Oh, I like my character so much, though.
Right. Or tapped. Your current purveyor cuts you off.
So we go to this party, and I am wide awake, and they're like, your friend is fine. We're taking this from you, though.
Or like as we're leaving, they're like, shh, he's not allowed back. And I'm like,
Right.
Of course, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Could you say the first one again?
Yeah, you attract trouble, which is you roll an additional entanglement. So the way that entanglements work, and I'll explain this so that you like know what you're getting into if you pick this. At the end of every score, I roll an entanglement for you guys, which is like a like thing that happens like as like a consequence. So like an example is like I can roll an entanglement that is like the blue coats like pick up one of your friends, and I have to roll to see like how much information they give you, and it generates like more heat or whatever.
Oh wow.
Or like, you know, a rival gang or like a rival gang like shows up and is like, hey, like pay us off, like pay us protection money or we're gonna like beat you up, or like, you know, different there are different sort of like entanglements like that, which I've rolled for the last score, but I'm putting it on hold while we kind of like tutorialize the game right now.
Okay.
So if you wanted to pick that one, you can. It'll just like I'll roll another one, and then there will be 2 entanglements that y'all have to deal with, like probably next week.
I didn't start playing this game to go easy, so let's tangle some things.
I love that mentality.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll make a note of that.
So now I click off all this stress.
Yep.
There we go.
Stress manage.
Yeah.
And as we leave, I'm like, I'm really sorry he peed all over that couch. I'm so sorry. I promise I'll get it. I'll replace it. I promise.
There's like bird shit everywhere.
They're like, what is this? And I'm like, it's a disorder. Don't be mad at him. He's doing what he can.
Yeah, totally. All right, cool. So you each have 1 additional downtime. Action.
I would like to go train.
That's
And
right.
either Eric, if you want to do that together, otherwise you can finish up your thing and I'll go into mine.
Okay.
You can go into yours. I'll figure out what I want to do.
You can.
Okay.
Eric, just because I know that you might be interested in this, you can totally reduce stress twice, if you would like.
So I've got 4 right now. Is that a lot to go into the next score with? Probably.
Depends.
I mean, taking
Yeah.
stress is helpful in the game, and if you're like worried that you're not going to be able to, it might.
Yeah, all right. I'll indulge again. No bonus dice.
Yeah. So you get 1 more.
God.
So wait,
Hey, one is better than nothing.
Yeah.
why did me and Simone get the 1 die and you got 2, but you had to take the lowest?
Because I don't have any dots in my prowess.
Yeah.
Oh, this is all based on prowess?
No, this is all based on whatever your lowest meta stat is. So
Yeah.
of insight, prowess, resolve, the way that you roll for indulging your vice is you roll whatever you have the lowest amount of dice in.
Oh, I see. So if I had nothing in 1, I would roll 2 and take the lowest.
Exactly. And
Okay.
so Eric has 13 has no dots in prowess. So
Gotcha.
cool. So you get 1 more stress on, so that's good. And then you want to pull Echo aside to spar with you, Crow?
So are you there at this house party with really good drugs?
I wasn't.
Okay. So then I'm gonna make my way back to, I guess, our lair, our hideout with Costa there.
Yeah, there's like and again, like none of it doesn't have to like all be like all interconnected. It can be like, you know, that scene ends and then we come up on the next scene, which is like
I kind of like the idea of me like dragging Crow back to the base and being like, "You're a mess," and Crow being like, "I don't care, I want to fight." And being like, "I'll fight."
That works.
Yeah. And then Undertow's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "I don't know, I'm getting lunch." And Undertow's like, "I'll get lunch." And we're like, "Great, let's go."
That was the best place we could have gone. Oh, I feel so good. I need to I'm so awake. I need to train. I need to fight. Like,
Think of me as like kind of Jane from Firefly.
I was like,
While everybody else is kind of doing
Jane
their thing,
from
I'm just
Jane and
waiting.
Target?
No, the guy who just likes guns and stuff from and works out on the ship when nothing's.
Guy with the hat.
Just pumping iron.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the next thing, so I'm just killing time.
Waiting for someone to fight you.
Yeah.
My character is just gonna go as long as possible without sleeping, and right now he's amped.
Right.
So let's go find Echo, because he is silently mad that she set off the alarms in the first place at our last score, but wants to understand exactly how she fights because she somehow still ended up on the wagon at the end of the day. So let's go find her.
Okay, so yeah, so you go find.
I'm just in the middle of like some sit-ups or something, just like completely zoned out.
Hey! Hey!
Hey, what's up?
Fight me.
Any particular reason to?
Fight me.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect.
For
And they
no
lived happily ever after.
I haven't blinked since I walked into the room.
for no reason at all, just to see how this goes, can you both roll a skirmish for me?
Sure. Let me find that.
I'm just curious.
Do I? Nope, not a single dot in that. Let's do it.
That's the fun part.
It's not bringing up the
Is this
roll for me.
risky?
Huh? It's
Or is it
yeah, like
control?
the position effect don't matter. This is just like for fun.
All right.
It's not bringing up a roll for me.
Effect. Standard. Bonus dice.
It's not
Any
bringing
bonus
it.
dice or no?
No.
No. Submit. 2 and a 3.
All right, so you got a 2.
Okay.
It's not prompting a roll for you, Tess?
Yeah, I'm clicking on skirmish and it's not bringing up anyone.
Let me look
Reload.
at it. Yeah,
Oh, there it is. Hang on.
got it.
And what is this? Just risky or?
Yeah, the position
Control?
the position and effect don't matter. This is just for funsies. This is
Okay.
to see who wins in a fight. All you have to do is beat a 2. All right, you get a 3. so you guys fight and Echo, you ultimately win, but just barely.
He's like fight me, and I'm like, okay. You asked me to.
Punch him in the face. Nice, cool.
I like to think that Crow is much better at long range, but does enjoy training on hand-to-hand combat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because if you had just walked 100 feet away from me, Echo, ooh, you'd be dead. No.
Cool. So yeah, so you wanted to train, so you are what are you marking experience in?
Let's mark it in prowess because I used the skirmish.
That makes sense. Good
So
call.
I mark it at the top at prowess.
Yeah. You go on the
Okay.
track there.
Yay!
Nice.
Thank you for fighting me, Echo.
Of course, that was fun. We should
I'm
do it
gonna
again
go.
sometime.
I'm gonna go be awake for 2 more days.
Fucking yikes.
I just look at the unblinking dude, and I'm just like, that was strange, but whatever.
Yeah. Wait for day like 2 from now when my character falls asleep, and then you get more background.
I'm excited.
Not if you-
I'm excited to see what happens on the next downtime.
Not if you have more lunch and more drugs.
That's the
Keep it
thing.
rolling.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so Echo, what would you like to do for your downtime?
I want to go see if there is a facility that I kind of mentioned before that houses those kind of.
Yeah, totally. And I'll have by the next session I'll have an NPC for you.
Okay.
That is your like vice provider, but for now it's like your vice provider, you go to these like underground like kind of like destruction derby pits and like you like meet up with this guy who like this is your guy who would provide your vice. He's like kind of like he's like the shady kind of like guy who like organizes all of the fights and everything, and he's just like, yes, Echo, welcome. Should I sign you up? Are you going to participate today?
I would love to fight, and I've got a little bit of pent up energy that I really need to get out. So
excellent. I'll make all the arrangements.
Give me a challenge this time.
Of course. And he starts making notes at his desk, and like he's like going on a ledger and kind of like setting up matchups and stuff. So go ahead and roll your Vice Indulge button. All right, so you get 2. So you relieve 2 stress. So if you would like to use your second downtime action, you could also relieve more stress, or you could like do something else that we had talked about.
Let's see. I guess I could do a cooldown type of. Well, we already did the sparring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you like to do? Like mechanically,
think-
do you want to vice? Do you want to train? Do you want to? Like...
Yeah, let's train. Like, I'm still pumped up from the big match. You know, I destroyed quite a lot of stuff, but
totally.
I've still got a little bit of energy left.
Okay. Yeah, you can. I mean, you could say that the fighting crow is your training, or we could set up another scene if you would like.
Let's stick with the crow fighting.
Okay. Yeah. So then
Fighting.
go ahead and. Well, that was a vice roll. You don't roll anything to mark experience. You just say like, I'm gonna train, and then you mark experience in the right way.
Yeah, I'm going to train. Training montage.
Nice.
So you're gonna come back and bat me again?
More like
I'm still
probably.
awake.
No, I'm probably gonna train with like dummies.
Yeah, well, it's more just like the training that you guys did. We'll just retroactively say that it was training for both of you.
Oh,
And where do I put the experience?
Wherever you would like to put it.
That's what, 2?
It's 1.
1.
So mark an experience wherever you would like it.
Put it into prowess so I can fill that bar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. We have successfully done a downtime.
Yay!
Nice work, everyone.
Take a nice long nap.
Right.
Nope.
The opposite, actually.
I do want to point out that 13 like comes back to the base and he's like rip angry at Crow. He's like, I barely got to spend any time at that house party and I am still so stressed. He's like,
I had to take care of you, children.
all of my friends are going to make fun of me now and it's going to be embarrassing.
I'm just gonna. Are you guys? Wait, are we at the safe house?
Sure, yeah.
I'm just
I
gonna
went
come
back,
out,
yeah.
out of the bedroom in a bathrobe, and be like, "Oh, hey guys, what's going on?" Cops.
I'm
still in
just
there.
passed out cold, snoring really loudly.
Is it like I'm
am
angrily
cleaning my
making, like,
I'm
I'm
cleaning my
angrily-
rifle.
I'm like
Wow.
angrily making a French press. Like,
Okay. So we have like 20 minutes left. So I think what we'll do is, if it's cool with you guys, we will set up the next score, and I'll teach you about another type of roll called the engagement roll, which is what we use to start scores. And we'll do that, and then next session we start with score number 2.
sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So you guys are all kind of like in the safe house together and passing your time how you will. You're all kind of like in the same room, and Costa comes down and he says, all right, my friends, shall we prepare for our next endeavor?"
Perfect.
And he pulls out his map, which I'll bring up a map. You guys have a map. I'll bring up the map on the stream, which the overlays are still broken. I know, and I will fix them. I swear. I promise. I'm sorry, internet. I didn't have time.
How dare you?
I know. Well, so now we're all playing in the Curse of Strahd game. Tez, you're GMing. Simone, you're playing my cleric.
Everybody died.
Sweet.
This is the best part too, because it's half like the overlays are half okay and half not. So Eric, you're actually playing Crow. Yeah, it's
ultimate power.
yeah.
Oh, sweet.
It's a whole thing. Anyways, so he brings up the map, or he brings up a map, and he says, "All right, so we are currently in Dunslow. We have in our possession cargo that we have stolen from the Lampblacks that we now need to bring to the person who contracted us to steal it, which is in Brightstone. Meaning that we have a boat," and he like looks over at Undertow, and we have cargo that we need to transport, and we need to transport it subtly and quietly. So, does anybody have any insight or ideas on what we can do to accomplish this thing?
To take our boat quietly from Dunslow to... What's the name of that area? Brightstone?
Brightstone, yeah. And he says, yes, very clever, very impressive. So, we have one of two ways that we can make it. We actually have multiple paths that we can take from Dunslow to Brightstone. And essentially we have two options. We can go quickly and dangerously, or we can go slow and safely. Do any of you have any idea of whether of which one might be the better of the two?
My character is definitely like a long-term planner, so I would say the slow and safe.
I was
And
gonna
my
say-
character is the polar opposite of that.
You cut over to me and I'm holding like nice china to drink all my coffee out of, and I'm like, no, I'd like to stay alive, please. Thank you.
Going slow is boring, though. Come on. Where's your sense of adventure?
Exactly.
See?
Being alive is quite an adventure. Being dead is quite boring.
He's got a point.
In this world, it's, who's to say?
Being dead, you can't punch anybody, so.
That's not entirely true, actually.
As we saw by
Well,
That is true.
Yeah, no.
Well, all right. We really have to get it done quickly, so I say we go the fast way. Fine.
I'm down for fast.
If we take proper precautions of, hiding it and possibly disguising what we're transporting, then we should be able to go quick enough that nobody will notice, right?
Well,
My character is a long-term planner. I can't agree with that at all.
allow me to explain. So, we've stolen this cargo from the Lampblacks. If we take and he pulls out kind of like a little it's not like a marker, it's like a piece of string that he is using to kind of like plot out this route, and he says, if, and this is, get ready because I really suck at drawing things with my mouse, so he says, if we want to be safe, we can go all the way back down and around here and through here and up around to get to where we need to go. We still have to go through some checkpoints. We still have to avoid certain attentions from the blue coats, the dockers, and the like. But ultimately, though it would take us longer, would be safer. If, however, we wanted to be quick about it, we could take one of these paths up here and through these canals. If we do this, he is obviously better at plotting it than Steve is. If we do this, it will be faster. We still have checkpoints to go through, but we have the potential additional complication of the gondoliers. The gondoliers are another organization in Duskfall that manage the throughways and byways of the canals and the rivers that run through the city, and they are, as of now, allied with the Lampblacks. So it is possible that they will be looking for us.
So then what's the downside of going the long way, other than that it takes more time?
that is the downside. It takes more time.
But are we working against a clock?
There is no deadline
Like,
per
is there
se.
a rush? Is there a rush for us to want to do it this way?
Is this order on rush? Did we get paid
I-
up front for the rush?
That's what I want to know.
I would not say that there is a rush. However, our client is not someone that you would want to keep waiting, if you understand what I mean.
I'm sure this client doesn't want to stay waiting, but I'm sure they'd also like to get their cargo. So perhaps the long way is the correct choice.
I want to go the fast way because, well, Undertow wants to see what this ship can do and put her through her paces and see if she can get her through the smaller canals. And also, I like to talk my way out of situations. So that's where Undertow's coming from. But
And if they don't see your way, they'll see my way.
Where's Casta right now?
Casta is talking to you. Like,
okay.
You guys are all kind of like, imagine you're in like a planning meeting. So like you're in like the common area of the safe house, and there's like a coffee table type thing, and he's laid out a map and is kind of like using different colored strings to kind of like plan out the different courses of action to use to talk about and like kind of like helping you plan.
I was just gonna like side conversation Cast to be like, start the long way.
Unfortunately, my friend, it will not be me driving the ship. At least I do not think so.
No, it's gonna be me.
I know, but he also knows how to drive a ship.
Captain at the helm.
And he's my friend.
No, listen, I won't be foolish. If it's really going to be safer, we can go the long way, but...
Well, what are the chances that these gondoliers are going to stop us and say, hey, can we look at your wagon? Is it a common occurrence that they're like, or can we all put on like fake mustaches and be like, cheerio, mate?
I will be completely honest, I am not particularly familiar in dealing with the gondoliers, but I do know, however, that they are allied with the Lamplacks, and I can almost certainly assume that they have heard of the Lamplacks' recent loss of property, and maybe on the lookout.
But I like your idea. If we just pretend, if we can fake it and pretend like we're not...
Yeah, but yes, exactly. Here's my thought. Consort. Because I have 2 points in that. Could I use that? I really want to use consort. I was reading about it. Could I use that to spread a rumor that we don't look like what we actually look like? Like, could I alter the rumor of what we're supposed to look like among them through like the web of people that I know through consort, so that like they're not looking for like it's just off enough. Like they're like, oh, it's like 2 girls, a guy, and a panda. It's so weird, and like so they're like, oh, that's 3 gentlemen and a pangolin lady. That's not the team that we're looking for.
Well,
can I be a spider, Steve? I know I'm a whisperer.
I'm taking a point from the spiders because I need it.
I know. I'm goofing on you.
No, but yeah.
It's like looking at the posters from Tangled. They never get my nose right, but this time it's on purpose.
Yeah. Right, like basically being like, well, you know that team, it had, a 4-eyed lady who had a tail that was wrapped in a bacon bit.
One of those again.
So this is the kind of thing that I'll let you make the roll, and it will based on what you roll, it could have some effect on what's going on. In the future, this is the kind of stuff that you would do as like a downtime action, as like kind of like a prep kind of like setting up.
But the heat's already sort of off of us now.
Yeah, so this isn't a reduced heat. This is essentially like mechanically an acquire asset, right? Because you're acquiring the asset of a phony persona to throw off potential pursuers or whatever. Because we didn't set up what the other score was before we did the downtime actions, because again we're a bit out of order as I'm kind of tutorializing this beginning part of the game. I'll let you make the roll to do an acquire asset if you would like to.
Well, no, that's okay. I mean, if it's ultimately not going to really affect narrative for this purpose, that's fine. Now I know what to look
it
for.
will. I'll probably if
Okay.
you so what I'll do because I will most likely have a clock. If you guys go the short way, there will most likely be a clock in place that is the gondolier. You attract the gondolier's attention. And I'll say that if you can succeed on this roll, I'll just increase the duration of that clock. So instead of being like a 4-part clock, I'll make it a 6-part clock.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I would consort.
They buy us more time.
Yeah.
No change in like risk or anything like that, right?
No. Again, this is kind of actually
Right.
we'll call this risky, because we're kind of getting into like close to like the setting up and the actual score. We'll say that there's a consequence. You could be discovered here.
Okay, so it's risky standard.
Yes, and so here's what it'll actually here's the effect and the consequence. We'll call it by default we'll call it a 6-part clock of the gondoliers notice you. If you can succeed, I'll make it an 8-part clock. If you fail, I'll make it a 4-part clock because they'll be like on the lookout for you.
Ooh,
Where does everyone stand?
long way.
Well, no, I mean, like, should I mean, if I fail, it's gonna be more difficult. So, are we good with me making the roll? I think I've got it.
They go for it.
Go for
All
it.
right. So I'm gonna, just standing around at a bar or whatever where I know they hang out. I'm, oh well, you know the people who hit them, right? Oh yeah, it was 15 women. 15. Oh shit. And then I'm gonna run. I'm not gonna wait to see if they like buy it. I'm just gonna go 15 women. I'm gonna put up 10 fingers, never make the last 5, and just like run for it. I'm just like 15.
Yeah, and we see you like run off, and the camera stays with the people, and they're just like, and like one guy is like, hey, doesn't that look like one of the guys? Like, oh yeah, that might be one of the guys.
And this is where I'd like to do a flashback where I had a fake mustache prepared the whole. No, I'm just kidding.
Save it for next week when we're actually doing the score. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a heavy load, and it's all just gonna be facial prosthetic.
Just wear a hood.
I think I do have a disguise kit actually, but that's just
Ooh.
Probably.
that's just me.
I think slides have disguise kits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we're gonna learn about a thing. This will be our last like thing that we learn about. And it's what we do to start every session or every score. It's called an engagement roll. And so basically we're going to go through and we're going to put together a pool of dice, and someone's going to roll it as a fortune. And I'm going to describe different things, and we're either going to add or subtract dice depending on like kind of like where we're at. And then at the end of that, we'll have a pool of some amount of dice. One person rolls that, and that determines whether or not we start this next score in a controlled position, a risky position, or a like desperate position, basically.
Neat.
So
Cool.
basically it's like engagement roll, and then like the next scene is like we're in the score, and like here's like everything going really well, or here's everything going horribly wrong, everything's on fire.
Hopefully not the latter, but it's still funny either way.
Right.
That'll be so good.
All right, so we're gonna put this together. We're gonna put this engagement roll together, and I think the most fun thing to do is roll the engagement roll, and that's the end of the session, and then we cliffhanger it into the score, which will start next week.
Cool.
I dig it.
All right, so when building an engagement roll, you always start off with 1 die for sheer luck, and then we ask ourselves, is this operation particularly bold or daring? Are you guys going the long way or the short way?
I think it's 3-1 at this point for short way, but
I say we go the short way this time, just because if this person is somebody that we don't want to keep waiting, we might be able to make a new contact. And we're like a budding group, bushy-tailed, bright-eyed. We really have to make an impact.
also totally metagame. Encounters and danger is fun.
That's true, too.
I'm just staying in character. So did you guys all decide with Costa that you're going the short way?
Yeah, I agree. I agree eventually to go short way. I'm like, fine.
All right, then.
I mean, we've already set off a couple of alarms. We're already being looked for. We need to get this over as soon as.
No, I slept with a guy so that we don't have to worry about it. You guys, it's gonna be fine.
Well, so what I'll say is, because you guys are taking the shorter, more dangerous route, I will say that this operation is particularly boulder daring, so you get an extra die on your engagement roll.
All right, Crow is going to summon his bird to his shoulder, nod, and then I'm gonna walk away from the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crow, that's not the way towards the door. That's just the wall, dear. Where are you? Are you? You're just standing there. All right. Oh, he's really not well. We really should talk to some. No? All right. Anyway, back to planning.
Does the plan expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
No.
No, I don't think.
Not really.
I don't think this applies because
There's not really a target.
The opposite of that. So to give you guys an idea of the mechanic, the second part of this statement is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses against it? In which case, take -1 die. See, does that kind of like make sense how that works?
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
So, but because they're like neither applies, we're still at our 2 dice, our pool of 2 dice. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
Costa already kind of did because
Costa.
Because he alluded to the lamp blacks and the gondoliers like kind of correlation to each other, as well as he's finding us a route to get there.
Yeah.
Made us aware of their existence.
Yes, it's almost like a GM did that on purpose for the purpose of the tutorial.
Thank you.
So I definitely described Costa as like, well, you kind of like tall, like muscular, like dark skin, blue eyes, and then just like, hey guys, hey friends.
I mean,
like,
that doesn't just because I said it in that way doesn't mean that he's not tall.
No, he is now. He is now.
He is
the most imposing person.
But he's just he's just friendly to you guys. He's just Costa's a sweet boy.
Sweet bounty hunter boy.
He's just a delight.
Did you guys see the new Jumanji movie?
Yes.
I'm just picturing him as the Rock's character.
Yes.
That's what I was sold on. Like he was like, look at all my muscles.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
But inside he's a scared little boy.
Yes.
So then the last part of the engagement roll is considering any other elements. So like if there's other things that we want to continue, like think about as like bonuses or negatives, which for the sake of again the tutorializing of it, we'll just kind of like not worry about that right now. So that means that you have a dice pool of 3 dice to roll for your engagement.
Is that
roll.
good?
It's good. I mean, yeah, it's good. So who wants to be the one to roll?
Good.
Who's feeling lucky?
Let's do this.
Who wants to roll the engagement roll?
Crow will do this because he doesn't agree.
Sure. Yeah. So roll whoever wants to do it. Roll a 3 dice fortune roll, and this will be
Who's doing it?
Crow wants to do it. I think.
Okay.
It could be a different person every time. So
I'm just trying to find the fortune roll again.
Yeah,
there it is.
Roll fortune, and then so it's a 3 dice bonus roll, or a 3 dice fortune roll, and we'll see what the position you guys are in for next week.
Notes.
It's just a fortune roll. It's an engagement roll.
Boom.
Actually, label it as an engagement roll. So we got it. All right, there we go. Okay, so you got a 4. Which means that you start in a risky position next week.
Nice.
Which is not the best, but it's also not the worst. So nice job.
The 4 and a 2 and a 1.
We're literally not up shit creek yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
Not
standard.
yet.
We're in like a standard. We're like right where we thought we would be. Like the pangolin knocks something over, and we're like, "Did you learn nothing?"
You guys, everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm proud of all of us.
So next week we'll pick this up. Do you guys want to see? Hold on. I'll show you a thing in Roll20. Sneak peek.
Ooh.
It's a boat.
It's a boat.
Oh, she's so pretty.
I have a bunch of these maps. Oh, hold on. I'll put it back for the stream. I have a bunch of these maps. They were made by a guy named Ryan Dunleavy, who worked with John Harper, who's the writer of Blades in the Dark.
Yeah.
He's the one who made that map that we've been using, and he also has like a ton of maps of like just all these different buildings and areas from Duskwall.
Sweet.
Like pre-drawn assets and stuff.
Yeah, and he has a Patreon, which I am a patron of, and he puts up maps every once in a while, and so I just have them, and I use them not just for this, but I've like used them in D&D and stuff too. They're really
nice.
Very cool.
So yeah, so we won't necessarily use a map because this game doesn't use like a battle map the same way that like D&D does or anything, but this will be kind of our backdrop screen for our session next week.
Yay, kitty.
Yeah,
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, this is great.
dope. And
This is gonna rule.
yes,
It's gonna be awesome.
So our last scene, as you guys are heading out, is probably like, or as we kind of like end here, is probably you guys like casting off to start heading down the canal. That's the word I was looking for. It's been a long fucking day. And yeah, so that'll be it. So cool.
Sweet.
Nice. This was fun.
Do we do experience?
We
Or no?
We could do. I mean,
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we did it during downtime sessions as well.
yeah. I mean, you can. Sure.
Okay.
So yeah, we could do. So Marissa, you said you had to bolt right at 10, right?
Yeah, if we could wrap it up, but otherwise, I mean,
We could do this when we
Yeah, we could
start
also
up.
we could just start with experience next week.
sweet.
I'll make a.
Okay.
Thank you so
I'll
much,
ma-
guys.
I'll make a note.
No problem.
Start with EXP. All right, cool. That's in my notebook, so I'll see it when we start next week.
Sweet.
All right, cool. We're gonna bid the internet farewell for this week. And
Bye, internet.
Bye, internet.
we'll say bye.
Take care.
See you next time.
Sleep well, internet.